Sometimes I feel like throwing everything away and leaving. There are days when you don't care about this and that and you want to hide away. I'm so tired of my hectic daily life. I have a lot of work to do, so I can't handle it. Some people find ways like living slowly or YOLO. I also manage my mind through meditation and exercise. I try to make my heart feel so heavy. I don't think it's easy. When you suddenly have a hard time or are under extreme stress. I have a cup of tea first. Let's put everything down for a while, grab the cluttered mind, and find some space. If you take a sip of warm tea, the warmth will spread slowly throughout your body. If you warm up your body and smell the scent that spreads gently. As my complicated and painful heart subsides under the teacup, I think I can see the clues to the problem little by little. I think drinking tea is completely different from drinking coffee or other drinks. It has the charm of escaping from the disturbance of the world for a while and falling into a quiet world alone. Maybe that's why many historical figures also loved tea. Especially, Napoleon's only hobby was drinking tea. He was an ambitious man who slept only 4 hours a day and dreamed of conquering Europe all day. You must have put your mind down at least during the tea time. When I'm at ease or when I'm not at ease, I drink tea. It always has a gentle charm. It also has the power to meet and talk comfortably. The charm of this tea is expressed by the poet So Yeon Kim in The Mind Dictionary. Only when it's dry enough. The scent that was condensed throughout my body. Like a cup of hot tea spreading more fragrantly. The same is true of the time when people's hearts and minds face each other. To give off a fragrant scent, I always need you like warm water. If you're reading this, comparing your heart to the scent of tea, I feel like my whole body warms up like I'm drinking tea. We need a glass of warm water like this. It could be a family. We can be friends. You can be yourself. When the world feels like a cold winter, sharing a warm tea with such beings. If you can talk comfortably, you can melt the frozen heart a little bit. Happiness in life is nothing much. A life where you know the relaxation of a warm cup of tea like this. And the life of sharing that time with a good person. It's a happy life. It's about sharing a car with people. There's also a book that talks about social meaning. It's People, Places, Hospitality by anthropologist Kim Yun Kyung. Hospitality means giving a place to the other person, or acknowledging his or her position, helping him to play the man comfortably. This makes him a person once again. This is because being a person is nothing other than having a place in society. Playing a person requires minimal stage equipment and props. For example, a space where you can invite someone, clothes to change, something like money to buy a teapot and a car. Hospitality is therefore bound to involve redistribution of resources. This book is about the dignity that every human being has. It's said that it happens when you treat each other. It's not just an ideological and cliché used in the code. To be able to say that all human beings are dignified. It's not just a basic food, clothing, shelter, etc. I bought a teapot and invited someone else to have a cup of tea. It is said that society should ensure that human behavior can be performed. Only when we are in a society where we can receive hospitality and hospitality like this. At last, the message that human dignity can be said came deep into my heart. Back to the story of The Mind Dictionary. The poet So Yeon Kim wanted to write this book. It is said that he collected more than 100 words and wrote them in a notebook. Even words with slight differences. There were more than 1,000 things to write down. I was surprised that there are so many words expressing my heart. When I read this book and everyone writes their own mind dictionaries, I thought about what it would be like. It will also contain hard and painful feelings. Let's organize our mind dictionaries. You know exactly how you feel and train yourself to be solid. With a cup of warm tea. The more hectic you are day by day and you don't have time. This kind of mind training is even more necessary. There are times when I'm really busy. As long as you're busy every day, there's a problem. You may be paying too much attention to unnecessary things. I don't want to be distracted by that. It's one of the good ways to train your mind. Just like Mark Manson recommends in The Art of Turning Off Your Nerve. Avoid the problem or pretend there is nothing wrong with it, and you become unhappy. Even if you think there are problems you can't solve, you're also unhappy. The only thing that matters is the problem from the beginning. It's not about sitting down, it's about solving problems. To be happy, we need to solve something. Therefore, happiness is an action and an activity. Happiness is not given by standing still. If we want to live a more comfortable and happy life, they say you should reduce unnecessary worries and only worry about what is essential. If you have a lot of unnecessary worries, you won't be able to worry about what you need. You can't really solve an important problem. The worry that I turned a blind eye to. Later, it snowballed and came back. This book is not saying that we should lose our minds about everything. It tells you well that you have to pay attention to only what is essential. Happiness isn't given away. It's something you can enjoy through proper practice and practice. In order for the family to be happy, consideration and love are needed. To restore a broken friendship, you need to resolve misunderstandings and conflicts. To make us happier, we need to solve the wrong problems. We should not avoid the problems we face, but we should actively bump into them and solve them. Sometimes, I throw everything away. I told him that I felt like leaving for a long time. The tea time is. In other words, it's time to get to know clearly what's really important in life. I've been paying attention to things that don't have to worry about. If you're missing or turning a blind eye to something important, because you can never be happy, then what you have to pay attention to. How can I tell if I can turn off my nerves? Psychotherapist Crystal Ty Collins. I have too many thoughts. If we want to live comfortably and happily, first of all, they tell you to take care of yourself and love yourself. Self-love comes first. At the heart of self-esteem is unconditional self-love. Self-love is the most deeply rooted foundation of self-esteem. Man endures all trials in life with his love for himself. If you have too many thoughts about something other than my problem, I'm taking my time away from things I don't need to care about. If you don't take care of yourself, life becomes unhappy. Happiness and unhappiness are what you make yourself, after all. Touch, pat, and love your inner child. That way, we will not be swayed by any ordeal. You can build solid strength. The happiness and unhappiness of life are ultimately determined by my heart. Shall we have a cup of tea? To you who are frozen cold in the cold of the world, I'll give you a warm cup of tea with all my heart. Although I can't get rid of all my worries, may you find a little relaxation and happiness with that cup of tea. So, I'm going to live in a brave world again. May you find courage.